Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day, students. How do you do? And welcome to another edition of e-learning class of the third week of third term of this section. Today we are going to be discussing together another aspect in Sirah, and that is the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Remember that in the previous lessons we have covered all the battles that were fought by the Prophet and the pagans of Mecca. And you will recall that we said that we discussed those battles, basically those battles that were fought between the Prophet and the pagans, specifically, such as Battle of Badr, Battle of Uhud, Battle of Khandaq. Don't forget that there are other internal battles that were fought between the Prophet and the hypocrites alongside the Jews of Medina. That is just to brush your memory so that you will come along with this particular topic. I implore you to lend me your ears and be attentive. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Inshallah, we are going to discuss two aspects, in which the first aspect will dwell on the cause of the treaty, what happened during those periods. They have been enumerated before you in the text. I want you to follow them into two as I read, and if there is anything to clarify, I will try and make the clarification. The first point is that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had a dream. After having that dream, the dream was about him going to Mecca with the Muslims from Medina gallantly, without any obstruction, with confidence and joy. After having woken up from the dream, from the sleep, he missed Mecca and decided to embark on Umrah. And that is the first point that you can find before you. Sequel to the vision, Allah revealed to him that they shall one day enter Mecca gallantly on Monday. That it means that the Hijrah, that Umrah, he occurred on Monday of Dhul Qi'dah, 6th year after Hijrah. Some Arabs, local Arabs, among which we have the hypocrite, relinquished, thinking he might not come back alive. That is, you can see it in Surah Al-Fatih, verse 11. Although he was accompanied with 1,800 Muslims from the Muhajirun and the Ansar, who had fully trusted him. They have full trust in him, and he went. Sorry, it is WENT. He went along with a lamb to indicate that his mission was not to fight. Of course, the lamb will be a sacrificial lamb that will sacrifice there after they have performed the Umrah. When he approached Ghassan, he got aware that the Meccans had gathered to fight him, including Khalid bin Walid, whom was sent with 200 men to a place close by. After the Prophet has decided to embark on such journey, many hypocrites in Medina decided to claim one or two excuses that, okay, our trade has overwhelmed us or something like that. Okay, when you get there, just try and seek forgiveness for us, thinking that because of the enmity between the prophet and the Meccans, that the prophet might not come back alive. So, and that was because their iman was shaky. But the Muhajirun and Ansar, they trusted in the prophet and decided to follow him. When the news got to the Meccans, they decided to be at alert and send few troops around the prophet's place so as to attack him if need be. And alongside, they decided to send some of their allies to him to convince the prophet not to enter Mecca and to go back, and that his followers might disappoint him while getting to Mecca, and they might run away. But the prophet insisted, and he went further. So after Khalid bin Walid failed to attack the prophet, of course, when they were at that place, they were not fully armed. So when they sensed that a troop was around them to attack them, they quickly established Salatul Khawf, and that 2 rak'ah nafila, Allah answered their prayer and made the attack of Khalid bin Walid to go in vain, and he could not be able to attack them by the will of Allah until they now changed their route to another place. So they changed their route to Mecca. So, and that route is a way leading to a place called Hudaybiyah. Let us continue reading. Many messengers were sent from Mecca to investigate the intent of the Muslims and the prophets, and the prophet assured them that they were W-E-R-E instead of R. Please take note of that. Were going for peace. So don't know that they were going for peace. That the prophet tried to tell them that, look here, we were coming to Mecca in order to perform Umrah. We don't have the intention to fight any battle. After this while, the Prophet ﷺ decided to send Uthman bin Affan to Mecca so as to reinstate their intention to them. You know, Uthman ibn Affan is one of them, and is one of the most prominent clan, that is the Banu Umayyah. So that he will go to them and try to convince them the way they have been sending their own messengers. He will also try and go to them and convey the message that Muhammad ﷺ was coming to perform Umrah. After a long time, and Uthman radiyallahu anhu has not returned, a rumor broke out that Uthman was being killed, and that triggered the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to vow. Of course, they have gotten to the Hudaybiyah. During at that place, a messenger came to the Prophet, met him there, and at that place he sent Uthman ibn Affan, waiting under a tree in order to get the feedback from Uthman ibn Affan. But after some while, and Uthman had not come back, so there was now a rumor making the round that that Uthman radiyallahu anhu had been killed. And from that, the Prophet now went out of anger to say that if Uthman has been killed really, then the Meccans should be ready for a great battle. And that during that time, all the Muslims, they also gave him their bay'ah. Bay'ah means the pledge, and that is what we call pledge of Hudaybiyah. And that one also is contained in Surah Al-Fatih, verse 18. You can find that is the pledge of Hudaybiyah, where Allah also supported them, that if they are also trying to support the Prophet despite the hurdle, Allah is also doing what is supporting them. This pledge caused fear in amongst the Meccans, and lure them to this pledge caused fear. You please help me omit the in. Caused fear among the Meccans and lured them to accept peace agreement proposed by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but still they subjected it to conditions that the Prophet agreed to because of his high interest for peace to reign. This point is saying that a moment the pledge was given to the Prophet, so that also was observed. It was noticed by the Meccans that more than 1,000 Muslims, they are giving the pledge, and you know how they act when they give their pledge to the Muslims, and they too, they are somehow weary of battle, so they had to succumb and come back to peace agreement, although the agreement was biased in its nature. But the Prophet, because of his high interest for peace to reign, he accepted the peace agreement. And inshallah, in the next lesson we shall be discussing the content of that peace agreement. I wish you to read this text over and over and take heed to the correction being made through the verbal presentation, and make sure you digest it, you understand it. I wish you best of luck. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.